The prompt sets up a chilling supernatural mystery centered around an inherited farmhouse, your grandmother's descent into madness, and a diary with impossible entries dated after her death. Here's a concise exploration of the scenario, leaning into the eerie atmosphere and narrative potential without assuming additional details. The farmhouse looms, creaking with age, its walls steeped in whispers of your grandmother's fractured mind. Your family's warnings, vague, urgent, laced with fear, echo as you cross the threshold, the air heavy with dust and something else. You didn't believe in ghosts, dismissing their tales as superstition. But the diary, found tucked beneath a floorboard, changes everything. Its brittle pages chronicle her final days, her words spiraling into frantic scrawls about eyes in the walls and the thing that watches. Then, impossibly, entries dated after her death, written in her hand, describing you, your arrival, your every move. The ink feels fresh. The house groans and you're not alone. Suggestions for expanding the story, the diary's secrets. Are the entries a warning, a trap, or a plea? Perhaps they describe events yet to happen, forcing you to question reality. You could investigate whether the diary is supernatural or a sign of something manipulating time or perception. The farmhouse's role. Is the house itself alive, feeding on its occupants' sanity? Explore its history, previous owners, strange events, or a dark ritual tied to the land. The eyes in the walls could hint at a physical or spectral presence. Grandmother's madness. Was she truly insane, or did she uncover something horrific? Her diary might reveal a pact, a curse, or an entity she tried to contain. Her post-death entries suggest she's still bound to the house, perhaps trying to protect or warn you. Your choices. Do you stay to unravel the mystery, risking your sanity, or flee and leave the diary's truths buried? Investigating could involve searching the farmhouse for clues, hidden rooms, old photos, occult symbols, or researching local legends about the property. Potential directions. Supernatural horror. The diary is a conduit for your grandmother's spirit or a malevolent entity mimicking her. Each entry pulls you deeper into its influence, blurring past and present. Psychological thriller. The entries might be a delusion you're inheriting, genetic madness, or a gaslighting plot by family members with hidden motives, e.g., wanting the property. Time slip mystery. The diary suggests a temporal anomaly tied to the farmhouse. You might find yourself slipping into your grandmother's final days, reliving her terror to break a cycle. Lovecraftian dread. The farmhouse sits on a site tied to an ancient, incomprehensible force. The diary's entries are its way of luring you into becoming its next vessel. The farmhouse smelled of mildew and memory, its warped wooden floors groaning under your steps. Moonlight sliced through the cracked shutters, casting jagged shadows that seemed to writhe when you weren't looking. The diary lay open on the kitchen table, its pages yellowed but the ink of those impossible entries, dated weeks, months, even years after your grandmother's death, glistened as if freshly written. You'd laughed off your family's warnings, their nervous glances and hushed tales of her raving about the Watcher before she died. But now, with the house creaking like a living thing and the diary's words clawing at your nerves, doubt gnawed at you. You flip to the last entry, dated tomorrow. You shouldn't have come, child. It sees you now. It knows your name. Your breath caught. The handwriting was unmistakably hers, looping, precise, even in its frenzy. Below it, a single line. Lock the attic door. Don't let it out. A thud echoed from upstairs. Your heart slammed against your ribs. The farmhouse was old, sure, settling beams, maybe a raccoon. But the sound came again, deliberate like footsteps pacing the attic floor. You grabbed the flashlight from your bag, its beam trembling as you aimed it at the ceiling. Dust sifted down, sparkling in the light. The attic. You hadn't been up there yet, hadn't even found the door in your cursory sweep of the house. Your grandmother's warning burned in your mind. The staircase to the second floor was narrow, the wood slick with age. Each step creaked louder than the last, as if the house resented your ascent. At the landing, a faded rug led to a hallway lined with closed doors. One at the far end was different, smaller, set higher in the wall, with a rusted padlock dangling from its latch. The attic door. You approached, the diary clutched in one hand, flashlight in the other. The air grew colder, thicker, like wading through fog. The padlock was loose, its shackle half open, as if someone, or something, had been careless. Your fingers hesitated, then pushed the door. It swung inward with a low moan, revealing a steep staircase vanishing into darkness. The flashlight beam caught cobwebs and splintered rafters, but something else too, a faint glow pulsing faintly from the far corner of the attic. You stepped up, the diary's weight heavy in your hand. The air felt wrong, like it was pressing back against you. At the top, the glow resolved into a mirror, its ornate frame carved with symbols that hurt to look at. Your reflection stared back, but it was off. Your eyes in the mirror were too wide, your mouth twisted into a smile you weren't making. Another thud this time behind you. You spun, flashlight sweeping the attic. Nothing, just boxes, an old rocking chair, a pile of moth-eaten blankets. But the rocking chair was moving, just slightly, back and forth, as if someone had brushed past it. The diary slipped from your hand, hitting the floor with a dull slap. You bent to pick it up and your eyes caught a new page, one you hadn't seen before. The ink was still wet. "It's behind you." You froze. The air turned frigid and a low hum filled the attic like a voice trying to form words. The mirror's glow flared, and in its reflection something moved, not you but a shape, tall and wrong, its edges blurring into the shadows. You didn't turn around. You couldn't. The hum grew louder, forming syllables, your name over and over, in a voice that sounded like your grandmother's but wasn't. The hum of your name in the attic grew sharper, each syllable a needle in your skull. The voice wasn't your grandmother's anymore. It was too deep, too jagged, like glass grinding underfoot. The diary lay open at your feet, its wet ink smearing under your trembling fingers as you snatched it up. "It's behind you." The words pulsed in your vision, and the mirror's glow flared brighter, bathing the attic in sickly light. Your reflection still grinned, eyes too wide, while the shape behind it loomed closer, tall, formless, its edges bleeding into the dark like spilled ink. You stumbled back, the flashlight beam jerking wildly across the attic. The rocking chair creaked faster, its rhythm matching the pounding in your chest. The air was suffocating now, thick with the scent of damp earth and something metallic like blood. You clutched the diary, its pages crumpling, and bolted for the attic stairs. The door slammed shut before you could reach it. A low laugh, wet, guttural, slithered through the room. The mirror's light dimmed, then surged, and in its glass you saw the shape solidify. Long limbs, a faceless head, and eyes that weren't eyes but holes, endless and hungry. Your reflection was gone now, replaced entirely by asterisk it. The diary burned hot in your hands, and you flipped it open instinctively, desperate for anything, a clue, a way out. A new entry sprawled across the page, dated today, this moment. "You can't leave. It wants you to see." The attic floor vibrated, a low rumble that shook dust from the rafters. The symbols on the mirror's frame began to glow, twisting like living things, and you realized they weren't random. They formed words, a language you didn't know but felt in your bones. The humming voice spoke again, not from the air but inside your head. "Read it. Know it." You staggered to the mirror, the diary clutched like a shield. The symbols pulsed in time with your heartbeat, and as you stared, fragments of meaning clawed into your mind. Asterisk binding asterisk, watcher asterisk, asterisk forever asterisk. Your grandmother's final entries flashed back, her ravings about the thing that watches, her pleas to keep it locked. Had she trapped something here, or had she become it? A creak behind you. The rocking chair was still now, but the pile of blankets in the corner shifted. Something underneath moved, slow, deliberate, unfolding. You didn't look. Instead, you forced your eyes to the diary, scanning for anything useful. An entry from a month after her death caught your eye. "The mirror is its door, break it and it's free, keep it and it's yours." Below in shakier script, "I tried, I failed. I'm sorry." The mirror's glow intensified, and the shape within it stepped closer, its form pressing against the glass like it was only a membrane. Your name echoed again, louder, angrier. The blankets in the corner fell away, revealing a figure, hunched, skeletal, wrapped in your grandmother's old shawl. Its head turned, and where its face should have been, there was only shadow. You had seconds. The diary's warning was clear. Break the mirror and whatever this was would be unleashed. Keep it and it would claim you. But there was something else in the entry, a faint sketch of a symbol, like the ones on the mirror's frame, with a single word beside it. "Speak," your breath hitched, the diary trembling in your hands as the symbol's word burned into your mind. "Zarath." It felt wrong, like a splinter lodged in your tongue just thinking it. The mirror's glow pulsed faster, the entity's form pressing so close to the glass you swore you heard it crack. The faceless figure in your grandmother's shawl stood now, its shadowed head tilting as if listening. The attic air was a vice, squeezing your lungs, and the voice in your head hissed again. "Speak it. Know it." You glanced at the diary's sketch, the symbol's jagged lines mirroring those on the mirror's frame. "Speak." Your grandmother's note was a gamble, her apology. "I tried. I failed." A warning of what might happen if you got it wrong. But the figure was moving closer, its steps silent but heavy, the air rippling around it like heat off pavement. The mirror's entity thrashed, its whole eyes locked on you, and the attic door rattled, still sealed shut. No running. No breaking the mirror, not yet. You had to try the word. Zarath, you whispered, the syllable tearing from your throat like it didn't want to be spoken. The attic went silent. The mirror's glow snuffed out, plunging the room into darkness except for the faint beam of your flashlight. The figure in the shawl froze, its head snapping upright. For a moment you thought it worked, until the floor shuddered and a low, grinding roar erupted from the mirror. The glass didn't break. It rippled like water disturbed by a stone. The entity's form surged forward, not through the glass but into it, its limbs stretching impossibly long, clawing at the edges of the frame. The symbols on the mirror flared red, then white, searing your eyes. The voice in your head screamed now, not words but raw, animalistic rage. You stumbled back, tripping over a box, the diary skidding across the floor. The figure in the shawl moved faster than you expected, lunging toward the diary. You scrambled to your feet, flashlight beam catching its form, tattered fabric, skeletal hands, and that void where a face should be. It wasn't your grandmother. It couldn't be, but it clutched the diary now, its shadowed head tilting as if reading. Then it spoke in her voice. You shouldn't have said it. The mirror's ripples stopped, and the entity was gone from the glass. But you felt it behind you, beside you, everywhere. The air was alive, thick with whispers that weren't words but intentions, hunger, possession, eternity. The figure dropped the diary, its hands reaching for you, and you saw something in the shawl's folds, a glint of metal, a pendant your grandmother always wore, etched with the same symbol you'd just spoken. You dove for the diary, fingers closing around it as the figure's hand grazed your shoulder, cold as death. A new page had appeared, the ink still forming. The name opens the door. The pendant seals it. Find it. Now, the mirror's symbols pulsed again, and you realized the pendant wasn't just a keepsake. It was a key, a lock, something your grandmother had used to bind this thing. But where was it? On the figure. In the attic. The entity's presence pressed harder, a weight on your chest, and the figure's void face seemed to smile. Your pulse thundered, the diary's weight anchoring you as the figure's skeletal hand lingered inches from your face, its void face pulsing with that unnatural smile. The pendant glinted in the folds of its shawl, etched with the symbol Zarath, your grandmother's final hope to seal the entity clawing at the edges of reality. The mirror's frame hummed, its symbols blazing, and the attic air churned with whispers that scraped your mind raw. You're mine, the figure's voice, your grandmother's, but twisted echoed. You shouldn't have said it. The diary's last entry burned in your memory. The pendant seals it. Find it, now. No time to search the attic, no time to second guess. You lunged, fingers closing around the pendant's chain, yanking it from the figure's shawl. It shrieked, a sound that wasn't human, wasn't anything, its hands clawing at you, cold as frostbite. You stumbled back, clutching the pendant, its metal searingly hot against your palm. The figure staggered, its form flickering like a bad signal, and for a split second you saw her, your grandmother's face, eyes wide with terror, mouthing, "Do it!" The mirror's glow erupted, the entity's form swelling within, its whole eyes boring into you. The attic floor cracked, splinters flying, and the whispers became a roar. "Speak it!" You didn't know if it was the entity or the diary, or your grandmother guiding you, but the pendant symbol pulsed in time with the mirrors. You raised it, the chain dangling, and shouted, "Zarath!" The word tore through the attic like a shockwave. The mirror shattered, not in fragments, but inward, collapsing into a void that sucked the air from the room. The figure screamed, its form unraveling into threads of shadow that spiraled into the mirror's black maw. The pendant burned white-hot, and you felt it, something ancient, vast, and furious, fighting to stay. But the symbol held. The diary fell open at your feet, a final entry scrawling itself. "You did it, I'm free." The mirror went dark, its frame crumbling to ash. The attic was silent, the air light again, the oppressive weight gone. The figure was no more, only the shawl left in a heap. You staggered to your knees, the pendant cooling in your hand, now just metal, its symbol dulled. The diary lay still, its pages blank except for that last message. You stumbled down the attic stairs, the farmhouse quiet for the first time. Dawn broke through the windows, soft and gray, as you stepped outside. The air smelled of dew, not death. You locked the door behind you, the pendant and diary tucked in your bag. Your family's warnings rang hollow now. You'd faced what they feared, and you'd won. But as you walked away, the farmhouse's shadow seemed to stretch just a little too long, and you couldn't shake the feeling that something, somewhere, still knew your name.